See, mine doesn't do that. Mine goes bong da bong, bong da bong. It's the new Skype. It's got the new ring.
Why does it change on us? Why do they ruin a good thing?
That's what I was wondering, because the first time it happened, I'm like, hey, this is not my tone, man.
No, this ain't my Skype tone, and as people know, we're very tone sensitive around here.
That's right. That's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, this tone isn't even good anymore.
No.
You know?
It's not. It's really not.
So, anyways, Skype tones aside. Good evening, Blake.
Good, yeah, it's sort of an evening, I guess. It is. Wow, the day really got away.
It is for me. For you, it's, I don't know, midday.
It's late afternoon over here.
Right.
We're looking at 15:40 right now is what I'm showing on the clock.
Yeah, we don't have that many hours. It's only 6:14 or something like that here. Yeah.
You know, the whole military time thing, I really, like, I've come to appreciate it. There's none like AM, PM, huh? It's just like, yeah, it is what it is. But
well, I mean, for example, my kid's stepdad, my ex-wife's husband, he's a police officer, and he was in the military before that, so he always uses military time just because that's just way more familiar to him now. Mm-hmm. And so, but to someone like me who's never done either of those, I have to do math. So like, someone's like, it's 15:40. I'm like, okay, so 15 minus 12 is 3. So it's 3:40. Gotcha.
Yes. So I don't have to do it all the time, especially not anymore. But like, I still kind of have to go. I know what some of them are. Like, yeah, I just know that for some reason 1500, I know that's 3 o'clock. But some of them I have to go like 17. Wait, that's oh no, that's okay. Yeah, that's 5. You know, I have to think about some of them.
Everything that's 12 or below, I got that down.
Right. That one's easy.
Yeah. Everything above that confuses me. I got to do I get the calculator out and stuff.
So you get your oscilloscope out and you're like start measuring things. Oh wait, this is way less complicated than I'm making it.
There's got to be a software program for this.
Yes. So I got something. You know, something happened. Mm-hmm. Christmas came a little bit early today, unexpectedly, and I was just toning out over here before we started recording. Oh,
really?
Man, I got a Small Sound Big Sound Mini. That thing's a ripper. I love it.
I haven't played it.
It's like kind of it's sort of an overdrive, which is what it's kind of going for, but it's like a fuzzy overdrive and very dynamic. And I was really digging it with P90s. Just like literally, that's what I was doing before we started doing this.
Huh.
So big thanks to my homie Scott over at Stringjoy. He sent me a Christmas present. I did not expect that. So nice.
That's a good friend you have there.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, I was looking in the mail for something that you sent me. It still hadn't showed up. I don't know. I mean, maybe it got lost. I don't know.
Maybe it's sitting in the back of my car right now. Awkward.
Maybe, I mean, for a guy that's got so many pedals, so many that he can't even keep track of them all. I thought
it's not going to get to you by Christmas, but there is something in the back of my car that needs to go to the post office.
Old pizza. It's probably old pizza.
No, it's a coupon for McDonald's.
Yes. Give me some great coffee there. They have the best coffee there. McDonald's,
it's
only for coffee.
It's only for Big Macs.
Oh man.
Yeah. You'd be rolling in that Big Mac sauce.
Yes. Hey, so I saw the other day on our gear group on Facebook.
The Wampler Pedals Tone Group?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. But it's a place that I frequent quite often because part of my job. No, but anyways,
Because I have to.
no. So, anyways, someone had posted like an amp that they had. It was a Crate. I think it's a Crate G40XL. Okay, maybe it's a GC40XL. Anyways, is an old Crate amp from the '80s, and so I started getting nostalgic, thinking, "Oh man, that when I was a teenager, that's the amp I was playing."
Right.
That's not that particular one, but that particular model. So I'm sitting here thinking, you know what I need to do now? Like, I've got to find one of these amps. I have to have that amp now. Do you have anything like that you grew? Well, you're still younger. You're still a kid. I mean, no, when whenever you were first starting to play, do you have anything like that you want to get back just for complete nostalgia? It's not for tone, just nostalgia.
Well, no, I don't, but that's only because I never got rid of anything. So I still have my first amp, which coincidentally is a Crate. Let me look at that. XT120R. I still have it, and I haven't got rid of it because it's not really worth anything. Like
120R. So that's a 100-watt 112, right?
120 watt 112 or
120 watt 112.
No, 212.
It is a 212.
Yeah, combo.
Wow,
Yes.
that's all fancy. I only had the 40-watt version.
It is actually really being perfectly honest, it's a great amp. Like, they're not that expensive, but it takes pedals well. It has a fantastic distortion for like metal. And then the drive sounds on it are not bad. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty decent amp, and you can pick them up all day long for cheap.
I used to do kind of a weird trick with those amps. Not your amp, but these Crate amps. So I had like a bass amp. It was ironically a Crate bass amp, and I would run. I think there was a line out on it, so I would run the line out to the bass amp, and just turn it up just enough where it had some thump to it.
Yeah,
and I would pretend like I had a 412 cabinet. That was what I would call the poor man's 412. Had I really thought about it, I probably should have not bought the bass amp and just bought a 412 cabinet.
Hey, you know what? That might have been cheaper.
Well, at that time though, I mean, 412 is what you took to the club on the weekend whenever you're playing in front of the 10 people.
Well, yeah,
we talked about that
that's your
before,
compact rig.
Yeah, that's your compact rig. It's just I mean, I was looked down on because I just had a single 12, and I would try to gig with that.
Oh, get out of here, amateur! Well, this ain't amateur hour over here, Brian. We got at least a 412, if not a full stack, for this coffee house gig here.
Exactly.
There probably weren't a lot of coffee house gigs back then, though. That was more of a later, like 90s thing, right? When that started coming on.
We did some coffee house gigs. Well, actually, I was a little older when I did the coffee house gigs, but that was just straight up acoustic.
Singing and songwriting.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I would do some covers as well, but it was complete acoustic for the most part. Because we had a regular band, and we thought, well, we suck so much, we're not really playing anywhere. And this coffee house says that we can play there and get free coffee. So let's do that.
What's acoustic?
What's an acoustic?
Yeah, you lost me there. I don't know what that means.
Oh, so it is, an acoustic is like, imagine an electric guitar.
Okay.
You hollow out and you don't plug it into anything.
Oh, you like a Gibson 335, right?
Like that, except, kind of like that, except no electronics in it.
Huh?
Well, back then. Now they put electronics in it as well, which really used to confuse me. But
no electronics in the guitar. Okay, all right. Well,
so that's the thing. So now we have electric guitars that are hollow with electronics, but they're electric guitars. But we also have hollow guitars, which have electronics in it, which are still acoustic guitars. So yeah, I mean, it's
what do you do with an acoustic guitar?
You play it.
But like, where do you put the pedals?
Some people do use pedals with them. At that time I did not. I didn't do that. No. We did have a drummer though who would bring nothing but he brought a hi-hat and I think like a tambourine or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was his drum
gotcha.
kit.
I got
for the gig. Yeah, so you can imagine how well the Pearl Jam covers went there.
Why wouldn't he just like at least do like a hi-hat, like maybe a kick if he could fit it, and then like some brushes on the snare? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I don't think the coffee house would allow us to do that.
Well, what about like I'm trying to figure out the tambourine thing.
I think that's what it was. You got to remember though. I mean, this was 25 years ago. So
and you can't remember it plain as day?
It's been a bit. It's been a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah. But no, all joking aside, I really don't play acoustic like ever. Like ever, and I should. I mean, I play them sometimes over at my dad's place because he's got some nice ones. But yeah, I don't play my acoustic guitar at all.
I actually envy people that can play acoustic well. I do have a few acoustics, and I might just hammer around on them every now and then. But I'm not an acoustic player. I play it like an electric,
Right.
which is like where really good acoustic players don't do that. They play it like an acoustic. It's a lot of interesting chords and finger picking patterns tend to be quite a bit different than alternate picking. So I mean, I've always envied guys that can just really sound great on an acoustic. Not if they're not like great players, just the style of playing acoustic. I've never have been able to achieve that very well.
I probably I need to I need to get one. I need to get like a nice one because I think that's a lot of my problem is the acoustic I have it's okay, but I don't get excited to play it, and so that's probably part of the problem. But I do get excited to go over and like play my dad's old stuff. He's got an old Martin and a really nice SJ200, and like I do get excited to play those, and I play them a lot differently than I do when I'm plugged in, and it would probably be just good change of pace for me on a technical level just to do that more often and help me play cleaner, as far as like not so sloppy.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, to me, it's just not. Like I said, I envy people that can do that. I've tried. It's just not as interesting to me. It's just, I mean, and this is gonna put me in the old fart category. I know it, but the best feeling to me is whenever you're in front of a cranked amp and you hit some power chords. You hit the dad rock, and I love that feeling.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I love that. Man.
So I mean, really, if it wasn't for that feeling, I probably wouldn't play guitar. Wow, I don't know if that came through the mic or not. That was my stomach that just like made this really weird noise. That was crazy.
You seem to do that a lot on this show. You're always like my stomach.
Yeah, it sounded like a cat meowing. It was like.
Did you eat a cat?
I did not eat a cat, but I did just have a full cup of coffee. So.
Oh, cat coffee.
Cat coffee. Yep.
Well.
So. But yeah, I forget what we're talking about now.
We're talking about acoustic guitars.
Oh, that's right. It was acoustic guitars.
But no, and my wife's like, she's like, I like it when you play acoustic. You should get a nice acoustic guitar, and so you can play like in the house more because I like listening to that a lot more. And I'm like, but I can't. But I need to put the fuzz. Where's the fuzz go? And she's like,
you know what you should do. I love this Luke Bryan song. You got to learn this song just play it for me, Blake.
I'm not
It'll
gonna.
be so romantic.
I'm not.
It'll be my Christmas present.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. My wife feels exactly the same way I do about said artist. So that's really a good thing.
I know. Well, it works for some. It doesn't work for others. I don't know.
Don't. I'm trying to restrain myself right now.
I can tell you're biting your tongue. Like,
My tongue's turning into hamburger right now.
so I don't know if I told you or not. I've been working on a site little by little. Have I already mentioned this to you?
Maybe.
So I made it live. I haven't told anyone about it yet because there's not much on it.
Okay.
But I have been adding a few things here and there.
Okay.
I've got some new Wampler shirts up just to have something there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a print on demand sort of thing. So there's
okay.
all different colors and different designs and some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they pretty much set the price, and I'm not like trying to make a gigantic amount of money. So I know like some of those places are like, yeah, it's $35 for this T-shirt, but I mean, the print on demand stuff, it's fairly expensive to do one-offs like that. So
yeah, it is.
I don't know. They're like $16 or something as the cost or something like that. Anyways, so I got some shirts on there, but I haven't mentioned this to anyone, so you're hearing it here first. I am in the process of making some more DIY kits. Now, I know what you're asking me, Brian. What is a DIY kit? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you what it is.
How did you know that I was going to ask you that?
I'm clairvoyant.
You actually haven't told me this at all, so this is new.
I haven't really.
No, we haven't talked. I thought maybe we had. I was like, maybe the more he talks, I'll remember. But I'm pretty sure we haven't discussed this. So,
well, I really haven't talked about it much with anyone else, because it's just been like a pet project I've been working on. Mm-hmm. I've threatened to, I was redoing these books, which I am. I found someone to help me draw the schematics. And
finally,
yes, he it was kind of funny because he did a couple. I'm like, that's awesome. Let me send the rest to you. And so I sent this big file, and he's like, holy crap, this is going to take me till February. So anyway,
I just want to make I want to make just a quick note. I know you are really busy, and so I'm not accusing you of being being lazy at all. But I just want to just want to put it out there that I'm pretty sure we discussed that you were in the process of like redoing the DIY books
last year,
like 2 years ago when I first started doing this with you.
I know I think I said that my hardest part is redrawing all these schematics because there's so many different pedals in it. Mm-hmm. And some of these pedals are pretty complicated to redraw these schematics.
Oh yeah, I could see that being super time consuming.
Yeah, so I mean, I finally found a guy who he wanted to help. I guess he probably got tired of me talking about doing it. He's like, "Oh my God, just let me do it." So and I'll help him out. And I mean, I asked him if he wanted paid. He's like, no, but I can't do that, man. That's way too big of a job. I got to pay him something. Right. So anyways, this site is going to have some new mods. So rather than like a lot of the mods are basically take this part out, put the same value in with a new part. Mm-hmm. So these are going to be a bit more involved. So it may require drilling cases, putting different pots in, totally changing the circuit into something new. It's going to be a whole different type of mod kit, complete with instructions and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it's literally going to be like a legitimate kit, and they're going to be for sale on this site. And just in case you're wondering, if you happen to want to see what it looks like so far, please don't make fun of me, but check it out at modyourownpedal.com.
modyourownpedal.com. Okay. I will investigate. So
you can check out my mad Shopify skills there.
Oh boy. I'm not gonna stress the Wi-Fi too much right now. I was gonna go look at it, but I was like, it's being a little sketchy on me. We'll not push its luck. I'm not gonna.
No, that's the site. The site's sketchy. No.
No, I just seen my bars kind of like, oh, where'd my extra Wi-Fi bar go? I'm not going to push my luck on this one.
Yeah, I can't do that. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a Skype call pretty much taxes the system. So, but yeah, that's so. It's Christmas break, and I've got a little bit of extra time, mm-hmm. and I I don't know if we talked about it. We didn't talk about it on the mic about what my routine is during Christmas break.
Oh, your self-torture that you do? Yeah.
You call it that. I call it absolute heaven for a couple days.
It sounds awful. Ugh. Okay, go ahead and tell everyone what you like to do to decompress.
Okay,
which is basically hitting yourself with a metal rod.
No, it's not. So this is going to be this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of people because I don't fit the stereotype. Much like the video I just put out, the other day about where I was genting on a Telecaster.
I haven't watched that yet. I'm so excited to go see you gent.
So, but so I'm the guy that the kids. So I have split custody. So half the kids are at the other parents for half the break, right? Mm-hmm. And so what does Brian do? Because basically the entire business shuts down. There's just all around nothing happens pretty much for about a week. And so I pretty much just sit on the couch and stay up for a couple days, drink copious amounts of coffee with a few beers thrown in, and I just game like a madman.
Sounds like a terrible mixture, by the way.
Well, it depends. You start off with coffee during the day, and then when it gets late enough at night, you just switch to a beer or two.
You don't mix your beer into your coffee.
No, not mixed together. That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible.
Well, I mean, I've had some good coffee beers, but
so
anyway.
I'm the red-eyed gamer all night long, on Xbox Live or PS4 or whichever I choose to go to at that time, because sometimes I'm an Xbox guy and sometimes I'm a PS4 guy. So
yeah,
it'll be
you told me that
Mm-hmm.
that you would go into basically gaming hibernation.
I go into gaming hibernation, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the worst thing on the face of this planet.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I don't think about guitars. I don't talk about guitars. I just get my game on.
Now that I can understand, because you're basically, for the most part, guitars 24/7.
Yes.
Which sounds good to a lot of people, but if you do anything all the time, even if it's something you really like, eventually you want to take a break from it.
You get burnt out. And this is how this routine formed, is because I wasn't doing that for a period of time, and I would get to a point where I would get so burned out on it that I couldn't stand it. I didn't want to look at anything to do with it, and so I'm like I figured out you've got to take a break. Like, you just have to impose some breaks on yourself during the year where you don't do anything at all guitar related. And you know what I found? You actually miss it during that period of time. Mm-hmm. You actually miss being away from it, and you can't wait to start back up again. So it's actually kind of a healthy thing, other than the massive amounts of coffee and beer. But
and staying up until whenever.
And staying up for 3 days at a time.
Other
than that, it's completely healthy. Pun in the noobs. That's right. Yep.
Oh, man. See, and then when you told me that, I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the need for a break, but I'm so not a gamer. Like I'm not a video game guy. That just does not sound good to me at all. Because like I said, the newest system we have at my house is a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, there's been something newer since then.
I mean,
yeah,
there has.
Yeah.
When did they come out? When did they go away from cartridges?
A little bit ago. A little bit. It's been a little while.
Can you just blow them out? When they don't work right.
No, on the new systems you download things. Mm-hmm.
Download.
So you download it from space, from outer space.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like any of my business. That sounds like one of them newfangled things the kids do. I'm not about that life.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And I tend to be more of a Black Ops guy, Call of Duty guy, I should say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like generally Santa brings me a Call of Duty type of game, and that's what I do, man.
Well,
game out.
Hey, everybody's got to have their thing. Personally, as far as like enjoyment, like things that are not guitar stuff that I don't do on, like as much as I'd like to. For me, it's a different kind of nerdery. I really like comic books and movies and sci-fi and horror fiction and all this stuff. Like I like kind of like the made up fantasy type things. Lots of what general like people associate with general geek culture. I enjoy a lot of that stuff. So
speaking of geeks, I've always talked. Well, you and I have talked, and I've told you that I'm not much of a TV guy, right? I don't watch a lot of TV. Mm-hmm. Well, I happened to be listening to what podcast was it? a James Altucher podcast a couple weeks, I think last week, and maybe a week ago. Anyways, it's been a week or two ago, and he had the guy, I forget the guy's name, but he's Jack Barker on this TV show.
Okay,
I'd never heard of it, didn't know anything about it, but the guy it was interesting. Like they're talking about the show, and I'm like, that actually does sound a little interesting. So I checked it out. It's called Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. I never ever have heard of it, and apparently it's on Amazon as well. Amazon has everything, and I basically ruined my sleep this past week.
Oh,
because
I've heard of it, but never watched it.
I've watched like all 4 seasons in 2 weeks.
Good grief! Yeah,
I know.
For not a TV guy,
I've been staying up to like 3 a.m, like binge watching these because it's fantastic. And the reason why it's fantastic to me is not because I'm like super into tech. It's because it's kind of a comedy, and it's kind of a rough comedy. So like I wouldn't watch it with my kids or anything. Mm-hmm. But the guy that runs the company called Pied Piper reminds me of me.
Oh no.
It's funny, like all the people around him, I'm like, oh, that's this guy that works with me. And oh my gosh, that's this other guy. So like all these personalities I'm associating with people I work with.
Oh man.
So as they do things, that's what starts cracking me up because I can totally relate to it. Mm-hmm.
No, I've heard that show's amazing. I've not watched it yet. I'll probably have to start. You're not the first person who told me it's really, really good. So
really?
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good about it.
I've never really gotten into any sort of series at all. Mm-mm.
Well, maybe this is your gateway because like you watch TV at some point in your life on a semi-regular basis, I'm assuming. Like
mostly YouTube. I'm a YouTube guy.
Well, I know that, but like I'm saying, at some point in your history, pre-internet, you probably consumed more television than you do now.
Yeah, I mean a bit. Like I like the. I started to say NWA. That's not it.
Today was a good day.
Why can't I think of this? The Ultimate Fighting, UFC.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I like to watch the NWA every now and then.
Well, I mean, I do too, but it's been around for a while.
That's a rap group. So anyway, so like, I like the UFC stuff a bit, so I would watch that, but not like I'm not like an ultra nerd where I would have to watch everything they do. It's just that if it was on, it's cool, So
I'm just saying is in my opinion, the quality of TV, via Netflix, via HBO, via everything, the quality of TV in general in the last, 10 years has gone way, 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 way up, in my opinion. Like, as far as, you get shows like Silicon Valley and Breaking Bad and all these things and just, that's just the quality of television is just so much better than it ever has been at any other point, in my opinion.
See, I'm trying to think. I really haven't watched a lot of TV for a long time. Like even in the early 2000s, when now ex-wife, but my former wife was watching TV in the evenings, that's when I went out to the garage to start working on pedals. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was looking on forums and reading about electronics and stuff. And, I bought a bread. That's how I'd be breadboard and stuff at, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so even then, I really didn't watch TV much.
Yeah.
And before the internet, I played music. So I didn't really watch TV then either. Yeah, pretty much I've never really watched TV much at all. Don't really watch sports, none of that. So me watching any sort of television series is pretty odd.
I have a feeling that this might be like a gateway drug for you. Just because, if you like that, I mean, now I haven't seen it, so it's, I'm not sure about this, but, there's a lot of stuff you probably would be really into, just because everything's so much better than it used to be. So.
Huh. Yeah, see, I have no frame of reference there, because I've never really watched anything.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I mean, even today, if I'm watching something, it's on YouTube, and it's, how do I do this how to do whatever in Logic Pro X. That's the video I'm watching.
So here's a question I'm almost terrified to hear the answer to, because I'll probably watch the show and go, oh no. Have you found my character in that show?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Nope.
Right.
I found Jason Wilding's. Is in there. Yep. Alex from Wampler. Alex is in there. Yeah.
That's funny.
And then some other people I can't name, because then they'd come and ask me who they are, and it would hurt their feelings.
Oh. Oh, wait. Are you just saying I'm not in there so you don't hurt my feelings?
Maybe.
I thought so. I figured you out. Uh-huh.
Oh, so anyways, so Tone in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm.
I mean, silicon transistors?
That actually would be, honestly, it would be a great show if someone could do it and would do it, to really have sort of basically based around the gear culture, and especially how us manufacturers interact with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's totally different than any other industry. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't usually see competitors hanging out at trade shows, and you know what I mean, legitimately just hanging out and being friends. It doesn't happen very often. And there is the dramas too. There are the people that hate the Brian Wamplers for no apparent reason. We still don't really know why that guy hates me. But that's okay, because apparently I've offended him somehow that I have no idea. And even when I asked how I offended him, he couldn't tell me. So there you go. I don't know.
I mean, I
love the vagueness.
Everyone's like, okay, guys, we've heard this story a million times. But I have some. I can say this. I haven't worked in just millions of different industries, but I've worked in a lot of different industries, and work with companies in a few different sectors. And I can honestly say I've never observed, either on the consumer side or on the manufacturer side, I've never seen anything like this industry. So when people ask me about it, I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is truly a unique and weird business. Right. It really is. I mean, there are some industries that are similar. I think the craft beer industry is sort of similar in the way they interact.
Is it? I wondered about that, because they do seem to be kind of parallel to each other.
There's a lot of collaborations that go on. A lot of not a lot, but a decent amount of hey, I'm out of this particular thing. Can you help me? At least to the company.
What is that particular thing? Beer.
Well, they'd be like, I'm out of this variety of hop or whatever. Do you have any, type of thing that? No,
I get it.
That kind of thing happens. In that, so that's probably the closest I can see. But it's still different. But I would say that's definitely the one that I could say is the most like the gear world, the guitar gear world.
Yeah, probably so.
And I'm sure that because we're all, for the most part, musicians. I'm guessing I'm not super familiar with this area, but I'm sure the synth world is similar. Probably
is. I think it's, you're right. It's the artistic thing, because most of us came from an artistic background, and that's why we got into this. You know, like we talked about on last episode, that's not true across the board, but for the most part, most people that are in this are coming at it from some sort of artistic part of themselves, I guess. Whether you know electronics or you don't know electronics, you still have an interest in it, or else you would go make real money somewhere else. Like you'd get like a regular job and go sit in your cubicle and make money and go home like at normal times and see your kids and wife, and rather than be completely obsessed with it 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to add onto that.
That's all I got, man.
I'm trying to think of something juicy and information filled that I can add at some point in this episode, but so far it's been very unsuccessful.
No. You know what else would be cool though? I've contemplated doing this. I don't know if I have the time to pull it off.
Okay.
But I may have mentioned this a time or two before. What I think would be really great is if there was a really good gear vlog, VLOG, not blog with a B. And so, I mean, a lot of us call what we do vlogs because it's more laid back and relaxed style, but I mean like an actual daily vlog from a manufacturing point of view, dealing with people and customers and employees, but making it fun and entertaining and enlightening, you know? I always kind of refer like to the man himself, the master of vlogging, Casey Neistat, you know? Like, and I know you're not into it, but I mean, if you took that idea and you applied it to gear manufacturers and the gear industry in general, I think it'd be fantastic, honestly.
It'd be pretty cool.
There's a guy in Nashville named John Scott, he's got the best personality. He's the funniest dude. If anybody could pull it off, he could. Bluesman Vintage. That's his company, Bluesman Vintage.
Okay, I was going to say, whose is this man? I've never heard of this man. So
yeah, in fact, he did have a show at some point. I don't know if he still does. I don't think he does anymore. But they were making a pilot for the same company that did the Duck Dynasty stuff a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I think they did like a couple pilots for around his shop. He's got a big shop in Nashville. But I'm not sure how that whole industry works. Maybe the right palms didn't get enough money in them or something. I don't know. But,
I mean they do pilots for things. Like there's probably more pilots that are in the vault than ever have been TV shows on. They often get killed like really for no apparent reason. Just some executive's like, I don't like that one.
That guy rubs me the wrong way.
Seriously, it can be that or like it didn't test well. It didn't test well with our testing group, so we killed it.
We did a test group with multiple 10 to 15-year-old teenagers and also 60 to 65-year-old retired men, and none of them liked the gear vlog. Sorry.
The teenagers wondered why there was no wrapping, and the old men wondered why they wouldn't just plug straight in the first place.
And the teenagers did have a comment. Where's Jake and Logan Paul at? You got to have them in here.
Oh my gosh, not those guys. Ugh.
Come on, you love the Jake and Logan Pauls.
No, because I don't even. I don't even know what they do or why they are a thing. I just see them everywhere. I see them that's everywhere.
They are, and it's just they're good at being annoying. That's all I can figure out. Some people, their talent is just being annoying.
Well, I don't even know if they're annoying. I just see them all the time.
Anytime I've ever tried to watch their videos, that's what I get from it. I'm like, wow, that was pretty rude. You're being pretty annoying. I'd probably punch you in the mouth if you did that, actually.
Right. I mean, I don't even have a clue what they do. Are they like pranking people, or what do they do?
Yeah, basically it's just daily vlogs of their life and, in LA. And they prank people, and act stupid and do stupid things, and the kids love it.
Okay. Well, my old manness is showing because all I know is the name and the face, and I don't have a clue beyond that. That's all I know.
When I was your age, I didn't do stuff like that. We didn't have TV back then. Right?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, when I was the kids' age, I did a lot of annoying, stupid things. I just didn't have a YouTube channel. I did a lot of dumb things, though, that I probably should have been punched for and was a couple times, so there you go.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Know the feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, man. 40 minutes in it. Where do you want to wrap this thing up at now that we've talked about all kinds of vlogs and all kinds of TV stuff and just a little bit about gear?
We have to wrap it up? I think we just keep going and going. Like I said, we're gonna podcast forever. This is the time. This is the time we do it.
We could Facebook Live right now and just leave it rolling.
Yeah,
you know,
just
let it go.
This is what we do. We said we're gonna start podcasting everything. This is it. This is where it starts.
This is what it looks like.
Yep.
When you hear the behind the scenes stuff, this is it.
This is. Oh man. Well, I apologize to everyone. I think we had a pretty good last episode, but this one I feel like I'm just like, I'm full of Mexican food, and I just my brain is operating on cheese and chorizo, and I don't even know where I am right now.
Well, this is our New Year's episode.
Is it really?
Yeah, this is our New Year's episode. So,
oh man, what a way to kick off the new year!
So I got a great way to wrap this up.
Okay,
you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. New Year's gear resolutions.
Ooh. New Year's gear resolutions. Okay, we should have started with that. That would have been probably smart.
With the magic of editing, we can do anything.
Well, that's true. That's true. Except it's not really how we roll. Anyway, you already have one in mind, or should I think of one real fast?
I mean, I do. I actually do have some New Year's gear resolutions in mind.
Oh, I actually do too. One just occurred to me. Okay.
Why did you ask me then? You totally led me out into the spotlight, then you shoved me off stage.
No. It just clicked in my brain because I looked over at something. I'll talk about it when you're done. Come back. I'm pulling you back on with a cane.
Okay. So my gear resolutions are different than a typical person because I make a lot of gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think really what I want to focus on in 2018, and I don't even know if it's going to be a product or not. This is mainly just for me. Mm-hmm. I want to build some more amps. I want to get more into building amps. I really enjoy that. It's different, and I like it a lot, man. I don't know. It's just fun. I don't know. It's just different. It's a cool spin on guitar pedals, and it's enjoyable.
There you
and
go.
More dangerous.
Much more dangerous.
Much more dangerous.
A little less room for error in the
That's right.
Wire crossing.
You cannot be too sleepy or too wired when working on tube amps.
No. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that for you. That's a kind of a unique one, probably unique to your situation. Mine is a little less intense, but I did do something recently. Yeah, I remember I've talked before about how I just bring a box of pedals, to the gig, and so I did a crazy
no pedal board.
Yeah, I did a crazy thing recently. Yeah, I know you're gonna say, who are you and what have you done with Blake? But I bought an actual power supply, like a real one.
Wait a minute. So that means you're going to have to buy a pedal board for your power supply.
I have had a pedal board sitting over in the corner of my room for like a year. I'm looking at it right now, and it's going, put pedals on me, please. Please put some pedals on me.
It's probably got dust all over it, and it's sitting there in the corner all lonely and depressed.
It is, and it's a really nice board, too.
Look at this guy. Look at him pile up all those pedals in that box and take them to that gig. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at this guy. Now, here I am, just sitting here being unused. I know, it's completely unreasonable, and I have absolutely no justification for my actions, but my New Year Gears resolution is to actually put together a real, genuine article, legit pedal board That's going to be my resolution.
That actually is very odd for you. So are you going to make it nice and neat and, route your own not route your own cables, but make your own cables that are, specific sizes and all that good fun stuff?
I don't want to promise too much now. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. But that's the plan. That would be my plan, is to make it. I'm a very sloppy person, as evidenced by my gear room. But I will try to make it fairly nice to look at and orderly.
I can't wait to see pictures of this. It's going to be like fuzz, 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 fuzz. Tuner.
Fuzz, 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 reverb, fuzz, 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 reverb, delay, reverb, fuzz, 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 reverb, modulation. It is going to be extremely dirt heavy. I'm telling you right now. It's going to.
Oh, I
if
can
there's
imagine.
if there's not 4 different dirt boxes on there, I will be astonished with myself.
Well, our pedal board, we have like 20 some pedals on it, and most of them are overdrives and distortions.
Yeah.
Of course, that's our show board, and we have a lot of those in the lineup. So that's probably why.
That makes sense. But it is going to be a really funny mix. Like it'll be. I can tell you right now, it's going to be kind of a funny mix of like really nice pedals and like really cheap pedals. Because
I love that. I actually love that.
Yeah, I have some on both sides of the spectrum. I have some that I got for $30 that I absolutely love to death, and some more expensive ones. And they're if it sounds good, it goes on the board. So
I've been contemplating buying some of the old Dan Electro plastic little like the tuna melt.
Yeah.
What's the other one? The pepperoni phase or whatever. Just because I don't know why I really like inexpensive pedals just for the fun of it. And you know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know. It's just a really weird thing. I guess because I'm surrounded by high-end gear, that like the inexpensive stuff is kind of awkward and quirky and different. I don't know.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. I mean,
plus, if I break it, I don't feel bad.
Well, that's the one thing. Like, there's some inexpensive stuff I have that I'm like, ooh, I need to get another one of those, because if this one breaks, I don't want to be without it.
Right.
Not that it probably couldn't be repaired, but just kind of the thing. But
yeah, I used to play on a Fish and Chips EQ for a long time until it just quit working.
A lot of those Danos were good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, there was some really cool stuff they did. And there was actually Clay Jones, the guy that we did what was the big long podcast we did talking about the gear industry?
Oh, we were talking about the
goose, the middleman, the gander, or something like that.
Yeah. That
couple
big long
podcasts back. Yeah.
Yes.
So Clay Jones, the guy that was involved in that, this has been about 10 years ago, so sorry. But he took a bunch of those little Den Electros and True bypassed them all and put them in new enclosures. That was his rig for a while. It's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
That is cool. I mean, that's kind of what those need. The problem they have is that the enclosures and the switches are jankety, and that kind of solves that problem.
Yep, sir. Yes, sir.
So about 40 minutes in, we did get to about 8 minutes of actual talking about guitar stuff, which is part for the course.
Hey, they can't all be winners. If they're all great, then what would people have to look forward to?
Well, I mean, if they were all great, probably have more people listening. Just throwing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like with increase in quality, generally increase in listenership. I don't know.
I've never seen the data on that. I don't believe it.
That's a good point. There's some pretty bad ones out there that people seem to love, like Jake and Logan Paul.
You bring a valid point. All right, Blake. Well, I hope you have a great New Year's. I hope all of your dreams come true in 2018, and it's gonna be fun. I look forward to what the new year brings. This is my serious late night voice. Is what this is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Brian, I agree. I think it's going to be a real swell new year for all of us.
I think I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Good night. Thanks so much for listening to the Chasing Tone podcast. Really appreciate it. Hope you really like it. If you have any comments or questions, you can always email podcast@wamplerpedals.com. Or if you would like to leave a voicemail message that we could use on the podcast with your question, you can just call 765-352-8626 and leave a message there. And that will come to me in an MP3 file that I could then use on the podcast and answer your question there. So thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.